Hey YouTube, coming at you with a Pokemon that I want to test out because I saw a bunch of people post about Chesnaught, and I was like, you know what, I want to try this out. And so I paired it. So two things right out the bat: you're gonna get dominated by the owl because you're double weak to flying, and trevenant because in any grass really because you don't have anything to throw at them. Excuse my voice, I am fighting off a cold today. So you need coverage for like grass Pokemon. You need coverage for the owl. Which is why I paired it with froslass and stunfisk. So let's just get into battles. It's an interesting Pokemon. Like it. So the best answer is, why do you use it? It absolutely walls. It absolutely walls swampert because it will resist the earthquake and the hydro cannon. It absolutely walls G-fisk because you will resist the rock slide and the earthquake. So it's great there. Letting the switch clock burn out here, I'll probably come back in and just take whatever move. Probably gonna acid spray me. It's very glassy, as you can see here. Like that's an acid spray. That took me like down a ton. Tropius in the back. This is the wrong move because it is grass and flying. So this is double resisted. I should have thrown the single resisted superpower. I was just trying to get out. And now G-fisk is going to have to run this for me. I'll shield. Good news is I know they have Bastion on the front, right? So that's also why like I paired this with a Chesnaught with a Stunfisk because they will both deal with Bastion, which I'm gonna have problems with Froslass. Anyways, they catch on the Bastion, which is a nice play by them because that's kind of one of their only win conditions was catching. So now I dump all my energy. And they still have shield, and they could probably just do like farm down a bunch and have a move coming out and they get a move off. So I have to shield. I can't. No, I have to shield. I cannot take a flamethrower and then so I come in here and then I knew I have to catch, so I do catch, which is great. Trading catches back to back here. So now I do the super power, which does still resist it, still doesn't take it out, but way more chip damage. I'm still going to need the 2 rock slides, but luckily with that catch, and they're using Razor Leaf, slow charging, I will get to 2 rock slides here to take it out. You will see Chesnaught in a couple of these matchups do like pretty strong, just because Frenzy's chunk, like one of the medicham leads. So Zoomerl is a good lead. There's a medicham lead where like Frenzy like took it really low. So you're in a rough position here in your back line because Froslass takes super effective from the claws. Stunfisk, it's not a great matchup. So what I did was I always chip first, knowing that I can now just claw down here. So that is why I just like chip, knowing that I'm be able to take it out and then get in here with loaded with energy. So again, a Frenzy Plant, even though resisted, still did 50% to a Trevenant. Like it's a really hard hitting move. There's only 2 resisted moves that do 50% to Trevenant: a Frenzy Plant from Chesnaught and a Hydro Cannon from a Shadow Swampert. Otherwise, resisted does really well. I don't know if that's true or not, but I end up shielding here because I'm thinking they may have something in the back that I could just, like the owl or some sort of flyer or something in the back that I could just get a ton of damage here. So here's one shield. Here's the second shield I'm going to get with some powder snow, chip, double super effective. So Froslass, I've used Froslass a few times now. Froslass it's interesting in this league. So there's 2, I'm not going to talk about G-fisk. I have G-fisk coming on a future team, and everybody knows what G-fisk does. I try and catch the earthquake there. The good news is everything's resisted here, right? Earthquake, Night Slash is all resisted. And these frenzies will take it out, so they have to throw here. So I have enough Vine Whip power to put it within rock slide range. So Chesnaught, I just think it's too limited, quite honestly. Like, other people who've used it have said, like, you need to run ABB style teams to bait out something so that it can roam free in the back. And yeah, sort of, you do. This matchup, even though you can get a Frenzy off, you're still not in a good matchup here. So I tried to catch an Ice Punch, and I did. Yeah, so like between the owl, okay, so pros. You're going to dominate Lanturn. You're going to dominate G-Fisk. You're going to dominate... why would they... Oh, they tried to catch a Shadow Ball. Did not work. So you dominate G-Fisk, Swampert, and Lanturn with Chesnaught. Huge, huge wins. You lose hard to the Owl, Trevenant, Medicham, Bastion. I think you win. I didn't actually get to play the Bastion Registeel matchup a bunch. Trying to think what else is the main meta here. Dunsparce you dominate, right? Because ground rock. So that's the thing. The fighting grass typing is nice because there's ground and rock resistance, and there is a ton of that in the meta. So that's why people use it. So that's why it's pretty strong. But again, if you run into like Trevenant, the Owl, or a Fire, or any flyer really, because your grass and superpower are resisted by the flyers, you're just like, you lose, right? So not that I hate limited Pokemon, because I use Togedemaru a ton, and that has very limited matchups, but I just find for the main meta it is very, very limited. They try and catch on Lanturn. I was aware that was coming and held up to get the Shadow Ball off. Froslass. So Froslass is one of these Pokemon where it's like, oh, plus now like you do neutral with Vine Whips and Frenzy Plants, but you're double weak to A9 no matter if they run Charm, because you're weak to Charm because of the fire, and you're weak to the ice because of the ice. You're weak to the ice because of the because you're grass. So that is that. So in this matchup, I assume that I'm gonna I want to just, before I talk about Froslass more, I'm gonna let this go, and I'm gonna get a superpower off here. I have two superpowers. So one is gonna do decent chip damage here. I want to see how much chip damage it does. So it did like, I don't know, 40%-ish. So it's not bad. It's not bad. It's just not great for the meta. Froslass is an interesting one, because Froslass does so well against Medicham and so well against the Owl, but is going to struggle mightily against Lanturn and any of the steals. G-Fisk, Bastion, and Registeel. And you're going to struggle against Lanturn too. So it's one of those Pokemon where it's like, it has a lot of play. It's a decent safe swap, because even if you get hit with one of those like hard counters, you're okay. And you actually lose the Trevenant and Sableye matchup too. So Froslass is one of those Pokemon where it's like, I don't know. This time I just go straight Frenzy on the Medicham instead of trying to catch an Ice Punch here. And it does like what? Like 60%-ish? Maybe a bit more. Like, it's a pretty hard-hitting move. So Chesnaught's decent. And then Froslass, Froslass is glassy. I think Froslass' main strength is in like limited metas, where like you get those Bastion and G-Fisk and Registeel banned, and holy smokes, you're just like roaming free outside of like a Sableye. Well, again, fire, but there's not a ton of fire in the meta. But you are basically roaming free in most limited metas with Froslass, so definitely one worth investing. They are gonna throw here, which is fine. I will shield. Depends what's in the back. Shadow Vic. So I'm just gonna Frenzy Plant this. Again, we saw this with the Trevenant. This still does a lot. Yeah, I was about to say, it probably would do even more here if they didn't. So able to get this rock set off. I'm probably gonna have to shield. That's the problem. I'm probably gonna have to shield here. Although I could come in and Vine Whip down, probably. I just think I'm gonna come out with an Earthquake here, farming down, and then be able to get to maybe 2, because rock throw smackdowns are resisted for both these Pokemon. So, oh, I need to let it go. Yeah, okay, so that's fine. Again, flyer and fire, you're just screwed here. Got to come in here as a safe swap. Still got to shield up a blast burn, but they are over farming, so this is going to grab 1 shield at least, which is good. And I sneak through. I got to respect it, but do I? Yeah, okay, I respect it. Got to respect that. Drapion, that's rough too. But chip damage is good here. Again, Chesnaught is poison, so, well, okay, no, it won't matter too much. I may come in and just actually farm with G-Fisk, or shield. What am I doing? Shield and farm. Knowing that if the Charizard comes back in, I can... I don't know about this play. I know the thought process is, if this Charizard comes back in, I can get this move off. But what he's going to do now is just farm. I should try and catch. Ooh, good counting. Terrible. Why didn't I try and catch something there? I probably should have tried to catch on the Chesnaught. Because now it's loaded with energy. That's going to have a... It's going to have a move here. Non-shadow does not take you out. So this is fine. I'll live with like a little bit of HP and take this out. But now it just depends what's in the back. I definitely should have... Chesnaught was useless. So I probably should have caught... At medicham, I'm just going to get outpaced to the psychic here. So this is a problem with Chesnaught, right? Like flyer... Flyer there. Poison resisted. Medichamp's just going to outpace. Like... For me, it's just a little too limited for this meta, even though it does hit like crazy. Like, I'm just going to stay here and use a Frenzy, and they have to shield. They have to shield. So you can grab shields and then hope your backline can sweep. Yeah, just not... I don't love it. I don't love it. Like, I mean, double super effective wing attack, so that is adding up. But coming here... shield up a potential Hurricane. But it is a weather ball, which is unfortunate. I'm going to get this off. Pelipper. Yeah, not a lot of people using Pelipper just because lanturns everywhere. But Pelipper is still pretty good. And I'm starting to see A9s everywhere. I get double baited, which is rough. Although they don't get to a move here. Although I don't love being down 2 shields. I mean, being down... They keeps... This will do a good chip. I'm going to have to try and catch a Fire Punch. Or else I'm just going to get outpaced here. Yeah, I have to try and catch a Fire Punch. That's just feel. There's nothing that says they're going to throw on 8 there. That's just kind of feel. If they get to an Earthquake here, that's going to really hurt, which they should. They are loaded with energy here. So that does not quite take me out. Zweilous comes in. So they are double weak to Froslass here. And now I just need to get to the move, and then I may be able to farm down. So take this out. They dump their Earthquake, so they're pretty low. So now I just need to Powder Snow down before they get to the Fire Punch. And I think I remember I do. Yeah. Nice catch win there. So that's it. It was fine to try it, but again, not anything you need to build up. Froslass, I think, is strong. This meta kind of limits it a little bit. But definitely limited metas. It's dominant, and G-Fisk is still dominant. So that is it. Sorry for my voice. I appreciate the thumbs up and comments, and I will see you guys in the next one.